It's an Eastern Conference clash in South Florida where points are critical for both teams. Miami FC is surging, unbeaten in their last 5 and looking to maintain top form against a struggling Birmingham Legion side that recently made a coaching change. Greetings to all. With Ross Davenport, I'm David Gascon. Eastern Conference standings reflect a Miami team climbing the ladder. Their 3 wins this season equal their output from all of last year.
That's an amazing stat, and we're seeing Miami above the playoff line, not something we've seen in quite a while. As for Birmingham, just 1 win on the season, but made that coaching change. Thompson gone, Mark Briggs in. We'll see if he can get the culture going in Birmingham as well as the wins.
Miami delivered a statement against top-ranked Loudoun United. The 2-1 outcome has many people paying attention to this reshaped club. What does a win like this do for an organization searching for consistent success?
Well, it's not just this win, right? They got off to a slow start, but then had the win against North Carolina, a top 4 Eastern Conference team. Got a point all the way at Monterey Bay, and then this big win here against another Eastern Conference top 4 team, Milano, with the late winner lovely header to get all 3 points.
Midfielder Lucas Milano played his best game of the year against Loudoun United. The game-winning goal, he also set up Francisco Bonfiler's opening goal in that outcome.
Yeah, Milano pushing more forward in central last game than we've seen him in the past, and it worked to perfection. As you mentioned, Dave, goal and assist. 32-year-old Argentine. He's never been a monster goal scorer, more of a provider in his MLS days, but listen, maybe Gaston Madoni's seen something to think he can start finding his scoring touch here in Miami.
And the heads-up series favors Birmingham Legion. Despite their 1 win on the year, they've historically had their way with Miami. How do they continue that trend tonight?
It's going to be interesting to see 2 new additions, one in the starting lineup, one on the bench. We also had Lazo added a couple of weeks ago. Listen, Birmingham is a franchise that's had a lot of success, and they brought Mark Briggs in to continue that success again.
Forward Ronaldo Damas is their play to watch for Birmingham. He leads the team in goals with 4, and he doesn't need a lot of room to get a shot off.
He does not. You can probably measure it in inches. I mean, Dave, the 25-year-old Haitian, 100th USL Championship appearance tonight in the regular season. 50 league goals if you include the playoffs. Got off to a solid start, 4 goals in his first 5 league games, but comes into tonight with none in his last 4 league starts. As you mentioned, always a danger with his head and his feet. One of those guys you have to account for.
Miami's trying to go unbeaten in their last 6. It'll be the first time in 3 years that they accomplished that feat here tonight. Coming up on their side, we'll get you the starting 11 and first touch. It's Birmingham Legion, Miami FC coming up next.
Some people think Miami is just flamingos and palm trees.
And hell yes, we have badass sunsets.
But Miami's Little Havana,
Doral,
Little Haiti,
Hialeah,
Wynwood, Coconut Grove,
Kendall,
Calle Ocho, Sweetwater, Homestead,
cortaditos y coladas
empanadas y croquetas.
is so much more. This is the 305.
This is who we really are. This is what we are all about.
I am Latino.
I'm a disruptor.
I am LGBTQ.
I am a villain.
I am a mother.
I am Haitian.
I am an actor.
I am an activist.
I am a king.
I am American Dream.
I am the future.
I am.
I am
Miami FC.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
This portion of the broadcast is brought to you by Doral Kia. Drive for less, drive Doral. Bon Bon Boom. Suck at something. Macron, become your own hero.
I'm never not going to laugh at
Baptist
Bumble.
Hell. Back here live at South Dade Kia Field at Pitbull Stadium with Ross Davenport. I am David Gascon. The starters for the home side, Miami FC, led by head coach Gaston Madoni, is a 4-3-2-1 formation. Francisco Bonfiglio, the forward up front, leads the team with 5 goals.
He does. He leads a front 6 comprised completely of Argentine players. No change from that 2-1 win over Loudon. No Tobias Zarate. He got a late, well, 2 late yellows that added to a red last week. Alan Gavilanes misses out again after starting 6 of the first 7.
For Birmingham Legion, led by head coach Mark Briggs, a 4-1-4-1 formation. We spotlight Eric Centennial, the right back. It's his first start for Birmingham Legion. He was just acquired 2 days ago.
Yeah, it means Jake Roof goes to the bench. Kobe Hernandez-Foster back in the starting lineup. That means Tyler Pasher pushes out a little further wide. Sam McElhatton also back on the bench after sitting out last week after suspension.
Natalie Simon is our lead official today. Ben Reigel, Jeremy Smith, sideline officials, and Russell Miller is our 4th official as this contest is underway. Birmingham Legion will be moving from right to left on your screen. Miami FC will be on the attack, moving from left to right in their new green and white kits tonight.
An interesting look, a little Hartford-esque, perhaps.
Miami FC trying to push forward in the opening act, could not complete it. And one of the things that we're looking for tonight with Miami is you're thinking about the makeup of this squad in Miami FC is how do they attack, how do they morph into a team that's amongst the upper echelon sides. Of course, the different components, Bill Hamid makes a stop here quickly on the first touch of the game for Miami, is they're looking for 2 different things tonight. Getting on the board early on, and then also picking up a clean sheet, something they have not done this year.
Yeah, it's been a problem on the defensive end. Dalton Knudsen and Paolo Akinyodi haven't been giving up a ton of goals, 1 or 2 here and there, but they love a clean sheet tonight against a Birmingham team that does have some talent. We have mentioned Ronaldo Damas, Enzo Martinez. We know what he can do when he's given space and time outside the box. Jenny Trejo loves to push forward. Tyler Pasher, we saw him from central midfield last week with some great runs. We'll see him out wide tonight looking to provide service for Ronaldo Damas. He can vanish from games occasionally if he's not getting it. That's for Birmingham as well. Talked about pedal to the metal. They want to move. Mark Briggs wants to move the ball faster. Keep an eye on that tonight. They've got the nastiness now with Edwin Lazo as well at the 6th spot. Big physical presence there.
Miami SC unbeaten their last 5 contests. Biggest moment last week was the victory against Loudoun United. After they took a somewhat gut punch, Abdulatif Al-Bukour was awarded a penalty. But according to their head coach and Gaston Madoni, they showed great resolve and resilience. Lucas Malano came right back before the end of the first half and scored the game-winning goal. Yeah,
they've shown resiliency too. It took Gaston Madoni a little while to get things going. Lost a few games to start the season. Listen, when you're a new coach with a bunch of new players, it's going to take a while to settle in, and they certainly have done now. And certainly not going to be a guaranteed 3 points like they were at most of last season, except for the first game of the season, obviously. Francisco, the champs.
Yeah, Francisco Bonfiglio, the 5 goals during the regular season, has 6 across all competitions, and he has been a consistent staple to this attack for Miami FC. Mark Briggs, he comes over from Sacramento, a winning pedigree in 5 years. There's play this one into the box, easy touch for Matt Van Oekel, his first of the night. Van Oekel has started every match this season for Birmingham Legion. The 1-4-4 record is not an indicator of how well he's played this season. The goals against is at $156, but the save percentage is at 69. A nice move going around one defender. Getting badly beat there was Nicholas Cardona, but good recovery.
It was Miami in blue, Dave. I apologize for that earlier. It was North Carolina look, not Hartford. Birmingham in the Hartford looking white and green. We used to see them in the black and the gold. Brisk start for both sides here. Ronaldo Damas getting involved early.
Birmingham trying to threaten early on. Martinez tries to loft that into the box. Akinyodi plays this all the way back to Bill Hamid, and he tries to switch the pitch. Into the 4th minute. No shots for either side yet.
And we'll see Birmingham in that sort of 4-3-3. Damas with Trejo and Pasher. Pasher pushing up alongside him. Lazo will sit behind Martinez and Hernandez Foster, who was very impressive off the bench in last week's very impressive 1-1 draw against Detroit City, who lost earlier today to Red Hot Charleston.
Bonfilio gets taken out on the play. No whistle, no call. We play on.
That might be a sign of things to come. I'm sure Mark Briggs has told his boys to get a body on Bonfilio as soon as they can.
Pasher touches this back. Hernandez Foster moves this all the way around the pitch. Birmingham entering the 18, a dummy through. Nice play by Akinyoti to stymie up the attack. Milano here.
Yeah, there's been some space in this Miami back four so far. Birmingham hasn't quite been able to exploit it, but there's certainly been some gaps.
Birmingham Legion so far this year, 10 goals in 9 contests. Their goal differential is not poor, -4.
Doral Kia is loaded with over 500 new Kia models in stock now. Test drive a new 25 Kia Sportage today. Doral Kia, drive for less, drive Doral.
Into the 6th minute. Birmingham Legion with a couple of decent attempts. Danny Trejo and Sebastian Blanco getting together. That man, Gaston Madoni, in his first year as the head coach of Miami FC, replacing Antonio Nocerino, who departed, made his way to Las Vegas, and his hands are full in the desert.
Keep an eye on Dalton Knutson here. Number 13 scored a couple of goals this season with his head.
Into the box, to the back post, the header. Oh, it just goes scrambling over the crossbar. Milano with a decent threat there for Miami, reminiscent of last week's goal.
Yeah, the ball just stayed in the air a little too long for Milano to be able to get on top of it. And not the best angle of runs. As you mentioned, the goal and the assist last week. Almost pushing up as a second forward alongside Bonfilio most of that game.
Miami is with plenty of firepower up front now with Bonfilio, Milano, Alan Gavilanes not starting tonight. Got the week off last week from Gaston Madoni. Said it's his favorite player, but didn't have an appropriate spot for him to see time.
I think they'll enjoy his change of pace off the bench for the last 20, 25 minutes. Perhaps at this one, Gavilanes loves to take players on one-on-one and get quality balls in.
Birmingham Legion swept the season series for Miami a week ago into the box. Hamid comes out. That play is going to be ruled offside.
Well, Danny Trejo wants the ball to come back for a foul on him. Referee quite wisely played advantage. Did Natalie Simon. Ronaldo Damas, if he was offside here, wasn't by much. Yeah, Trejo wanted the foul there. Certainly looked like Bolo Akinyoti was keeping him on. From that angle anyway.
Bill Hamid so far this season, 3-3 record, goals against at 150, save percentage at 741. He has improved his game every single week for Miami. In fact, the goal that he surrendered a week ago against Loudoun United was on a penalty.
Yeah, we saw the goalkeeping problems that Miami FC had last season. Bill Hamid, veteran presence at the back there. As you mentioned, still looking for his first clean sheet in USL Championship play this year. And some warning signs early here.
Miami trying to work quickly on this throw-in with Milano. Tobias Zarate not in uniform tonight. He picked up a red last week, so he's unavailable. Dalton Knutson tries to keep this ball in bounds, and did he? Didn't look like it from our angle, but the officials did not rule it that way. Our challenge there as Christian Vasquez is in some agony.
Well, the Birmingham players are incensed, and quite rightly so from my angle. It looked like Vasquez just stood on the ball. Let's see if we can see this again from here. It was the grab from Martinez. That's maybe what she called. Wasn't much of a bit of contact though. Maybe in the end that was the right decision, or just let it play on. A couple of players still on the ground. We'll have to keep an eye on the weather tonight, Dave. It's hot and humid in Miami today. I was out there refereeing earlier, over 100 degrees. Triple-digit heat index.
Now there's a hydration break at the 30th minute.
Moses Mensah down in some serious pain. He was the unlucky one that ended up getting rolled up onto. Ooh.
Mensah, who's down on the deck right now. Mensah.
We mentioned earlier, I talked to you before the game, Birmingham a little short of defensive players on the bench tonight. And this has to be a concern. Jake Roof, really the only defensive-minded player on the bench for Mark Briggs.
Birmingham Legion has been busy for the last couple of days. They signed defender Eric Centennial. He was selected 19th overall by Atlanta United back in the 2022 MLS Super Draft. Never played for the big roster, but now he makes his way to USL Championship.
Yeah, nice little pickup. Familiar with Mark Briggs from his days in Sacramento. Straight into the starting lineup. No Ramiz Hamuda tonight. No Ethan Koss.
Cameron Lacey, the forward, also comes in as well. One of the things that Mark Briggs had mentioned to us a few days ago on our conversation with him is he wanted to change the culture and the attitude of this Birmingham team. He feels like they have all the tools to succeed, but they're just not doing it.
It's an interesting strategy to bring in players. It obviously puts pressure on those in the starting lineup to step up their game, but you're messing with the team chemistry in the locker room? Maybe they had trouble with it. This is, speaking of trouble, this is not good news for Moses Mensah.
Attacking on back.
Mensah getting help from his goalkeeper, Matt Van Oekel. Not putting any kind of weight on that left leg.
So maybe Dawson McCartney may come in. We'll have to see what tweaks Mark Briggs makes. He certainly didn't want to have to make them this early in the contest.
A brutal sign for Birmingham. Man from Cape Coast, Ghana, is being replaced now, and unfortunate for him, but his day is over with Dawson McCartney, left back, coming in.
Well, he's an attacking midfielder, so we'll have to see what Mark Briggs does. Does he perhaps drop one of the central midfielders? Do they go three at the back? We'll see what happens here as this half continues.
Kenyoti didn't get a good piece of it. Milano had that one roll right off his foot. That could have been threatening for Miami FC. Chipped into the box, played away. Pretty decent defending there by Thiago Suarez and Birmingham Legion.
Yeah, Suarez has been very, very solid at that center back spot. One of those guys you don't call his name very often. He's not making mistakes, just making plays like that.
Sebastian Blanco will take this corner kick, the first one for Miami. Blanco peels it away. The header sails over the net. Bonfilio with a decent rise on it, but no velocity or accuracy. Gaston Madoni speaking the world about his team, and he says the confidence continues to grow, but he feels like his team is staying grounded. Speaking of grounded, they continue to push, fought off nicely on the defense for Birmingham Legion. Lazo was there to intercept, and Birmingham Legion trying to counter. Miami FC comes into this contest, goal differential of -3. 9 goals for, 12 against. But the 3-4-1 record, good for 10 points. They started the day amongst the top 8 in the Eastern Conference in a playoff spot.
It looks like McCartney's just going to go straight to left back. We'll see if Miami FC trying to attack there.
It's twice now that Ronaldo Damas being called offside. Birmingham trying to press that back line of Miami FC. who has been vulnerable in decent stages of the year, mostly at the beginning portion of 2025. First 3 weeks of March, and they started to clean up their act once they turned from March into April.
Dawson McCartney did play left back in that 2-2 draw with Tampa earlier this month. One of the games that Mark Briggs said he was very impressed with was that Tampa Bay game.
On the transition, back comes Miami and Romero. Romero couldn't do anything with it. A nice play, though, by Enzo Martinez. Martinez, the Iron Man for Birmingham Legion, 9 games, 9 starts. Similar to what he did last year. He played all 36 matches. Bonfiglio from outside, an ambitious approach. Blocked in the way through. That'll be a corner kick, though, for Miami.
It's been a fun first 15 minutes to this game, except for Moses Mensah. There's been lots of space in the final third for both sides.
Blanco will take this one now. Sebastian has yet to register a goal this year for Miami. 7 years in MLS with Portland Timbers. Tallied up 51 goals during that time. Plays it short, gets it back. Trying to go to the back post, has a man available. Falling around looking for Bonfiglio. He was properly marked. Miami trying to keep the heat on. Knutson wins it here, Vasquez. Touch passing by Miami. Operating to the back post. Oh, that ball just misses the right bar. Ricketts on the attempt. Miami ever so close.
A little defense splitting past here. Blanco just chipping it in. Ricketts wanted that ball more, just couldn't get it on target. No more for his marauding runs down the flank than his headers, but finding himself in a good spot there. Chance for now for Birmingham to break.
Knutson on the back line for Miami has the only 2 goals this season for Miami defenders. In fact, when you look at the offensive output for Miami, somewhat top-heavy. Bonfiglio with 5, 6 across all competitions. Knutson with a couple. Kevin Hoyos with the goal. And Miami FC would love to have some balance offensively, while Mark Briggs wants to clamp down defensively for his guys.
Yeah, brought in that man we just saw there, Edwin Lazo, for the physical presence. So they needed a different profile, needed somebody to win aerial duels. He's played at the top level, adds a lot of quality. They're getting his 2nd straight start since coming in a couple weeks ago. The thing was, they played midweek that week he came in, and he only had a couple of half practices, recovery sessions before suiting up last week against Detroit. Fit right in nicely. He's on the ball now.
Pressure stays on for Miami. Fully extending Pasher, and we have another foul here. Let's see if this results in a booking. It'll be a stern lecture by our head referee, Natalie Simon, with Lucas Milano, who acknowledges the act.
That's what Tyler Pasha can do. That wasn't Pasha there. Centeno looking to get forward from his right back spot, but we did talk to Mark Briggs about Tyler Pasha, special player. They need to do better job getting him in positions where he's hard to contain. We saw him last week have a couple of takeoffs against Detroit. He's got real good go forward, going quickly. And eventually he can do it out wide as well as centrally. Out wide tonight. It's obviously hard to bench the likes of Enzo Martinez, which you'd probably have to do if you're going to put Tyler Pasha in the middle. Or Kobe Hernandez Foster, he's been very impressive. Mentioned off the bench last week as well.
Samuel Kavita helped the cause last week for Birmingham Legion as equalizing goals in the 81st minute. Birmingham Legion trying to push Pasher out wide. Has 2 inside the 18. Pasher trying to go around Cardona. He does. Nobody in the vicinity. Thomas was a whisker away from tapping that ball in.
You can see Tyler Pasha's reaction. He was assuming that's exactly where Damas was going to be. He was in the vicinity, but just didn't react to the cross quickly enough.
Excellent move by Pasher. That's now twice in this opening half that Nicholas Cardona has been badly beat. Settled down by Milano. A goal and an assist last week against Loudoun United. The assist came on Bonfilio's goal. His marker was the game winner in a 2-1 upset victory at home. Milano changing spots. Milano tries to enter that into the 18. This will result in another throw-in for Miami FC.
Let's take a look at that chance there. Birmingham just missed pass with a lovely move to get around Nico Cardona. Seemed like Raul Damas wasn't expecting the pace on the cross. Perhaps he was expecting it in the air. You mentioned Milano there, Dave, coming up from the left side in the middle, all the way across to the right, getting the ball back again. Just trying to get involved however he can.
Ricketts. 2 for Miami instead of the 18, and 5 for Birmingham Legion, including that man, Matt Van Oekel.
Yeah, the big game a couple of games ago, Matt Van Oekel. 6 saves, I think he had.
He had 6 clean sheets last year, but has failed to pick up one here in 2025. One area of concern for Birmingham Legion as the move goes on for Miami into the 18. Bonfilio! Great stop by Van Oekel! Full extension, Bonfilio wasted no time to get that thing off.
Yeah, Van Oekel had a good view of it, though. It was a comfortable height for him. Watch out.
Bad pass, taken away.
Oh, and a really bad touch, luckily for Birmingham. Lovely little skip through traffic. He didn't have a ton of space, but it was Blanco in the end with the strike.
Mark Briggs, 5 seasons with Sacramento Republic.
You see the look of concern on his face after that last scoring chance. Wasn't let go at the end of last season by Sacramento. He didn't answer the question, but I asked him, I assume he had plenty of offers in the off-season and why he waited around and saw this Birmingham job and saw what he liked. He said he liked the amount of talent here on this squad.
Quite the culture change, too, moving from California to Alabama.
And he said, listen, he said, this program, this club, I should say, is underachieved. He was intrigued why. That's really one of the reasons he took the job. Get back to that in a second.
Transition Milano here. No numbers for Miami. Milano trying to go around the corner, tries to squeeze it through the legs of Van Oekel and nearly found the mark.
Yeah, he was trying to catch Van Oekel napping with the topo. We got a man down in the middle. Milano was trying to get it back onto his more favorite right foot, but the defender wasn't going to let him. Yeah, Mark Briggs said, great talent, great training facilities, stadium, the finances to put together a good roster. This we've obviously seen them bring in 3 players. 2 this week, 1 a couple of weeks ago with Lazo. Birmingham wants to get back to their winning ways. Spend the money, obviously, to get Mark Briggs. Commitment from the ownership group. Just wants to get the culture going in the right direction.
Hydration break right now.
Why isn't he off the field? You stopped the game for him.
Miami FC growing into this contest. They've had the fortunate run of grabbing the lead early against Loudoun United. They did so against North Carolina. The equalizer against Monterey Bay came in the 87th minute. So they found their scoring prowess at different times through the course of the year. Now what they're looking for is more complementary pieces getting on the board with Francisco Bonfilio. Sebastian Blanco is certainly one of those players capable of doing that, but his offensive surge has not been found yet. Miami FC just looking for a goal against Birmingham Legion. They were blanked last year in the 2 contests. Slow ball back to Bill Hamid. Was fortunate enough to escape.
Yeah, those 2 games were only 1-0 though. You know, we're talking about this pregame. There wasn't too many teams that only put up 2 goals against Miami last season. There's a little shove in the back there from McCartney.
Birmingham Legion leads the all-time series with 5 victories, a couple losses, and 3 draws. Birmingham last year, 13 victories, 15 defeats, 6 draws. He had 45 points, 9th in the conference. No postseason for the first time ever in franchise history. In fact, the killer part to their year was they had lost 3 consecutive contests before the season finale. Season finale they did win, but the damage is already done. Stefanio Pino led the team with 10 goals on the year, but they had a goal differential of -7. And for Mark Briggs, while he wants offensive productivity, he wants to seal things up defensively. This is a club or an organization that had surrendered 104 goals in the last 2 years in USL Championship heading into this year.
Yeah, Mark admitted in our chat this week that it's going to take time for the changes he wants to see. He said pro sports, everybody wants instant success, but culture's beginning to turn. He said certain standards were being accepted in the organization prior to his arrival, but he's got things going the right way, it seems. Now, will the players get with his program?
79 victories in Sacramento. In fact, his clubs had made the postseason in 4 of his 5 years. When you bring that kind of a pedigree to Birmingham, you know a player's going to be paying attention to his message.
Yeah, and if they don't, the fact that he's bringing in players tells you he's not afraid perhaps to get rid of players either, as long as it's not going to cost the club too much.
He continues to work through his talent currently on the roster, but not afraid to reorganize and bring in fresh blood.
Yes, we saw Colorado Springs do it last year with mid-season changes. Led them to a title.
Asher reorganizing, unmarked. Trying to rip around and unable to do that, Centennial. Man from Stockton, California. He was loaned to Atlanta United too. Began his soccer journey with Sacramento Republic's Youth Academy. So he knows Mark Briggs a little bit.
It's pretty easy when you're a coach that has that network. You can be able to pick up the phone and say, hey, I just got a new job. You want to come in and start right back in your first game?
What size kit do you wear? Van Okel. Miami FC looking to reduce their goal differential. In this opening half, they have limited Birmingham Legion's attack, and the only 2 threatening attempts made by Birmingham Legion have been fought off nicely by the back line with Bolu Akinyoti and Dalton Knutson. Martinez, Damas.
And Birmingham still waiting for their first shot of the game, and we're in the 28th minute. Damas offside at least 2 or 3 times already. Maybe another one here, and now it's a scuff instead.
Bill Hamid has been comfortable so far into the 29th minute. Birmingham Legion has done a fine job at least limiting Miami FC to threatening attempts outside the 18. The 2 chances they did have were high levels of difficulty inside, with the header from Lucas Milano.
And they held Loudon, I think it was last week, to only 6 total shots, 3 on target. Email Birmingham also did a good job last week of stifling Detroit City. They limited their chances. Just a nice finish by Villanueva was the only goal for Le Rouge.
A 1-1 outcome for a Birmingham side that began the year winless in their first 5. They were 0-3-2. 0-2-2 when the coaching change was made for Mark Briggs. Into the box, Blanco stuttering. Blanco takes the shot, blocked on the way through. This will result in a corner. Fine play by Suarez again.
Yeah, Blanco's small window opportunity to get a shot off there, closed down quickly by Suarez. Just stood his ground nicely.
Blanco towards the back post. Akinyoti is there. Bolu around one defender. Can he get it around a second? He does. Akinyoti with a circus act. He could not complete the feat. Fantastic move by Akinyoti.
Oh, Akinyoti, that's some serious techers for a center back. Used to seeing him getting his action in the box with the head, but that was beautiful. Oh, Rondola just couldn't get it past Van Oekel.
31st minute. Birmingham Legion has failed to take a shot on goal so far. At the break, we'll have news and notes. Take a look around USL Championship, downtown scoreboard. Stats, highlights, and a whole lot more.
Yeah, a couple of games earlier today. We'll see those scores at the break.
Bill Hamid with the sun in his eyes, directing a little bit of traffic in front. Free kick here for Birmingham. Drive hits Thomas in front.
It's just sort of been the story of the night so far for Birmingham. Good effort from distance, right off Ronaldo Thomas. That's not pretty from Bolu.
Bit of friendly fire. Trejo trying to get to it, could not.
Yeah, only one other game going on tonight at the moment. 7 p.m. start, that's rare. Lexington with an early lead over Tampa Bay. Two teams in need of 3 points there, that's for sure. A bunch of late games tonight. One at 9, 2 at 10, and one at 10:30. We'll get into the specifics of those at the halftime break.
Miami FC trying to do something they have not done in 3 years, and that is go unbeaten in 6. This is across all competitions, including a victory against Tampa Bay in the Jaeger Cup. It's hard to pinpoint a signature victory so far for Miami, but when you look at what they've done this year, they snapped an 18-game winless streak on the road by winning their first of the year at San Antonio. Then they came from 3-0 down the Jaeger Cup to shock Tampa Bay in penalties. And then last week, Loudoun United came to town. They were not only the best team in the Eastern Conference, but they were the top team in USL Championship. And Miami FC beat them from pillar to post. The one goal that Loudoun did score was off of a generous penalty call. But outside of that, there wasn't a peep from Loudoun United.
Yeah, this time of year, we're getting into the summer. Miami's not a place that anybody's going to go want to play. Obviously, last year was almost a free 3 points for most teams, but now you can see how much the Birmingham players are sweating through their jersey. We're only in May. Miami playing as well as they are. It's not going to be a place anybody's going to want to visit here in 2025.
With this hydration break taking place right now, both head coaches talking strategy. Miami FC looking for their first goal of the night. They've had a couple creative moments. They have 8 shots in this contest, 2 that are on target. They're getting the opportunities from Birmingham Legion, and now it's about completing the act. For Birmingham Legion, 2 shots so far, but not a single one on goal. In fact, the expected goals is favoring Miami, .44 to .04.
Those Two shots that come in the last 6 minutes from Damas and Trejo. One wide, one blocked. Not made Bill Hamid do much at all tonight.
Possessioning favoring Birmingham Legion at this point, 59% to 41. But Miami has been creative with their crosses and trying to keep Matt Van Oekel guessing a little bit. Van Oekel's been strong between the sticks. His best save of the night was on a drive just inside the 18. One from Blanco that he fought off nicely. Miami FC still searching for more players to get onto the tally sheet. Bonfiglio with 5 goals and Knutson with a couple. Miami doing a good job defending on top of the ball. This is a different look from Miami than what we saw to open up the year, where they were really playing passively on the defensive end, and now it's almost similar to a player on a player throughout the entire night.
Yeah, they can certainly go from 4-4-2 to 4-2-4 very quickly. Get those front four going forward. Christian Vasquez also gets up there as well. You mentioned all front 6 players from Argentina.
Blanco, no harm, no foul.
One stat tonight, 16 touches in the opposition's box for Miami, only 2 for Birmingham. Tells the story of this first half a little bit, but still only 0-0.
Miami FC with an overhauled roster. And the big name players that have come to town have been excelling. Bill Hamid, Francisco Bonfiglio, Lucas Milano has been fantastic. Jonathan Ricketts as well. Damas on a decent jog. Damas gets around Akinyote, tries to draw the foul. Akinyote with both arms up. No foul there. Drive from outside. Lack of creativity on that attempt, and just a bad giveaway that Lazo would love to have back.
Well, those of you may remember his goal of the year candidate last year will know not to give that man too much space. 25, 30 yards out. Did come off a set piece, but what a strike it was. Didn't win, disappointingly. It was my favorite of the year in USL Championship.
It's hard to choose from when you go from March all the way into September and October.
Well, people have different tastes in good goals, right?
Yeah.
You got the long distance strikes, but then you got the great builds-ups, and the great passing goals. And normally it's the long distance ones that win.
I've seen some peculiar goals scored from about midfield.
Well, we had one in USL League One recently. Is that a good goal? It's a nice kick. But how much of it is you have to blame the goalkeeper when he's 25, 30 yards out when they strike it?
Times like that, I'm just grateful, not a goalkeeper and not on social media. No place to run and hide, not in this day and age.
JC Obergrant in League One. For those of you that may not have seen it yet.
Blanco over to Mercado. Out wide. Miami building this up.
Yeah, first bit of sustained possession we've seen in a while in the final third.
Ricketts and Christian Vasquez will calmly let this ball roll past the inline. And another corner here for Miami.
And Edwin Lazo doing what he was brought in to do there, is stuffing stuff up at the edge of the box, not allowing any shots from distance.
Vasquez will take this corner with the left foot. You see Knutson and Ricketts both there along with Bonfiglio. Vasquez whips this ball into the box. Oh, and there's the header. Tailor-made. Francisco Bonfiglio, his team leading 6th goal of the season. Miami 1, Birmingham nothing.
That man again. Who else? It was a nice delivery. Bonfiglio with the header down. Nobody within a couple of yards of it. Always the hardest ones for the goalkeepers to stop when you head them down into the ground like that. Just found the soft spot. Suarez wasn't close enough to him. Timed his jump a little bit. Can't give that man that much time and space in the box to finish. He'll finish with the best of them.
Earlier this week, Aston Madoni said he felt like Bonfiglio is the best striker in USL Championship. He's trying to make his case. He has 7 goals now across all competitions. His 6th during USL Championship's regular season. And more importantly for Miami, the creativity continues with them. That off of a set piece, and Miami has the advantage.
Yeah, spent his youth career with San Lorenzo, as well as Villarreal in Spain's La Liga. Obviously 2 quality organizations there that saw something in him. Now coming to play his trade here in Miami at 23. Want to start to his career here stateside.
He's giving chase to Cal Jennings of Charleston Battery, who came into the night with 11 goals.
And we had at least 1 today in that win over DCFC.
Miami FC going as far as Bonfiglio is willing to take them right now. The Argentine with broad shoulders for Miami. And he didn't start this way for Miami. It took a little while to build up. More games, more familiarity with each other. In fact, the majority of these players for Miami FC didn't have a home until 2 to 3 weeks prior to the regular season beginning. So just getting acclimated to South Florida is one thing, and then getting familiar with your teammates is another.
Yeah, these days with the CBA limiting the preseason a little bit, a lot of coaches telling us that the preseason almost extends into the season. As Don Knutson may have got away with a shove there.
Ellie Simon not blowing the whistle to the...
You see Mark Briggs' reaction at the bottom.
To the dismay of Birmingham Legion. Down 1-0, and Miami continues to press and threaten. Vasquez with a nice spin move. The chip looking to go back his way. Vasquez hoping for that ball, but it never came. Smart play by Akinyoti, waiting for reinforcements. Quick chip. Damas not even in second gear to get to that ball.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating first half for Ronaldo Damas, as well as this Birmingham offense. I mean, they're still seeking their first shot on target, been outshot 9-3 total. You wouldn't know how Bill Hamid's not had much to do tonight. He's sweating profusely in this humidity.
Temperatures at first touch tonight, 84 degrees. And the humidity was at a rather moist 78%. And it's only going to get worse. We're in the month of May. June is right around the corner, and so is hurricane season.
Don't mention that, Dave.
But these are the elements that Miami FC must capitalize on. They open up the year with a handful of games at home and failed to capture points. Their first 3 came on the road. Opportunities missed, definitely, but they're on the mend, and now the confidence continues to grow week in and week out with victories and goals. Goal differential now down to -2. Miami FC has deserved this outcome so far. 9 shots and climbing. Birmingham Legion with a couple of threatening moments, but nothing towards target and Bill Hamid. End of the first half is near. Moses Mensah, left back, went down early with an injury and could not return. In fact, was helped out by 2 of his teammates, a left leg injury.
It was unfortunate too. Miami player just fell into him. Nothing he could really do about it.
Dawson McCartney replaced him on the left side. Enzo Martinez nearly found that ball on his lap. Miami FC trying to close out this first half without conceding anything, but they have definitely scaled back their aggression here in the final couple of minutes. And this first half will have stats, highlights, news, and notes. Take a look around USL Championship. And for Miami, searching for a second goal. Won't be the nail in the coffin for Birmingham. They have plenty of talent on their roster. But with the way Miami has been pushing forward in this first half, got to imagine Gaston Madoni wants to make sure that some of his players conserve some energy for the second half based on the current score and also the temperatures. We'll keep an eye on our fourth official and Russell Miller, see how much stoppage time we are awarded. There should be a few minutes just because of the Moses Mensah injury. Mensah was down for a few. Trejo, not 7 feet tall to get to that ball. 6 minutes of stoppage time. Fair enough for Birmingham.
Yeah, you can see this heat's taken a little bit of the pace out of this game over the last 10 minutes or so.
Miami with 9 shots now, 3 of them on target. Francisco Bonfiglio, his team leading 6 goals this season, 7 across all competitions. And Milano labeled offside. Miami so far this year with their 3-4-1 record. Cardona did not get away with one there. That shot would not have counted. Cardona's been rather flat-footed in this one. Lucas Milano will receive the booking and the lecture from Natalie Simon.
Nico Cardona had the foot out. I'm not sure how much Milano had to do with that.
Puzzling as it is, Milano with the booking. But Nicolas Cardona, on 3 separate occasions, has been outmaneuvered by a Birmingham Legion winger. Tyler Pasher had a good 5 to 6 minutes to open up this contest. We haven't called his number in quite a while.
He's having to keep an eye on Milano.
Hernandez Foster will take this free kick. Whips it into the box. Bonfiglio there to head it away at the moment. Played through, and a whistle and a foul, and Kavita's not happy about the ruling.
Not sure if it was on Kavita or on the high foot by Lasso.
Miami FC, 8 goals in the opening half out of 9 matches so far. Akinyoti, low bridge by Damas. You look at the body of work so far for Miami and what they have done. Continue to grow into this game. Not their best start of the year against Birmingham, but they were slow, steady, methodical. They asked questions of the back line, a couple crossing attempts. Milano with a header that went over the crossbar, but Bonfiglio, his goal off the corner. Vasquez putting that ball into a prime spot for the team's leading scorer, and he made it count.
Yeah, took advantage of the set piece. Oh, that's a nice ball there. Just too much on it for Trejo. Been a frustrating first half for the visitors. Just really haven't been able to combine in that final third at all. It's all been a little static. Hamid's bright goalkeeper kit. I've always wondered why goalkeepers wear such bright goalkeeper kits, Dave. You think you sort of want to blend in so the strikers don't see where you are?
Well, that leads me to a question of the fluorescent yellow, and always an observation is that when you look at fast food restaurants, they're all the colors of yellow and red. That draws the attention of drivers.
I always wondered if I could design goalkeeper kits, they just look like nets and with fans behind them, so they blend into the goal.
Come pull in the space.
Streaking is Pasher. Pasher trying to look for Martinez. Martinez a foot behind it. Blanco trying to tug on the jersey of Kavita.
Well, that would have been the time to play that same ball he played earlier in the first half when he was so frustrated that Damas wasn't there. He was there that time and decided to play the pullback instead, and nobody was there.
Stop and go from Blanco. Mercado. Knutson over to Romero. Miami FC open up tonight with a 4-3-2-1 formation. A couple pieces have moved around the board, but they've played a relatively stout first half of ball. They've limited Birmingham to 3 shots, Ross, and not a single one on target.
Well, you see Birmingham quite happy to allow Miami to get into the half. Here's Lazo now a little annoyed. They set back into this 4-1-4-1. Just leave Damas up there on his own to press. Like with the conditions, you're going to have to be careful when you do press.
Centennial played his college ball at the University of Pacific, which is in Stockton, Northern California. If you're not familiar with those parts of town. Kavita again. 30-year-old has only played in 4 games this season, now make it 5. And Natalie Simon blows the whistle, indicating the end of the opening half. Miami FC and Birmingham Legion will head to their respective locker rooms for a breather.
Yeah, Miami with a deserved lead at the half. It certainly could have been more than one as well. Enzo Martinez, that man needs to get more involved in this game. But time for Mark Briggs to chat about stuff at the break here and see if he can get things going forward in this second half. No shots on target for Birmingham in the first 45.
The hometown faithful happy with the outcome so far. Miami FC gets its team-leading 6th goal this season from Francisco Bonfilio off the corner kick from Christian Vasquez, and they lead 1-0. Shots in the opening half, 9-3 in favor of Miami FC. They're in control right now. Mark Briggs needs to make some adjustments. Birmingham down by a goal as we're at the break.
Some people think Miami is just flamingos and palm trees.
And hell yes, we have badass sunsets.
But Miami's Little Havana,
Doral,
Little Haiti,
Hialeah,
Wynwood, Coconut Grove,
Kendall,
Calle Ocho, Sweetwater, Homestead,
cortaditos y coladas
empanadas y croquetas.
is so much more. This is the 305.
This is who we really are. This is what we are all about.
I am Latino.
I'm a disruptor.
I am LGBTQ.
I am a villain.
I am a mother.
I am Haitian.
I am an athlete.
I am an activist.
I am a king.
I am an American dream.
I am the future.
I am
Miami FC.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
Macron halftime report has Miami on top. 1-0 is the score. Francisco Bonfilio's team leading 6th goal of the season. The difference maker so far. Now we got a moment in time. We'll take a look at the goals and saves of the week in USL Championship. Fellas, take it away.
Is free, curls it into the area, on the back post, headed loose, oh, turned away by Garcia, did it cross the end line? Wow, Javier Garcia making a winning play. That's the scenario we're working with. Josh Drag joining the fold. Obregon trying from afar. This is audacious, and it's in! You have just witnessed one of the best goals you'll see all year in USL League One.
Way on in the 11, knocked over. Romario Williams chested down. Oh, what a stop by Jamali Wade.
2 successful seasons in Birmingham before coming to the Rowdies.
Holstad, oh, it's a blast! 1-0, Rhode Island goes on top.
Take a look at Week 11's Team of the Week in USL Championship. No surprise at the top. Cal Jennings is the pace car. He scored a couple goals today as well.
Yeah, Lamar Batista in there. JP Skiers, former League One man, finding himself in the midfield. Mikey Maldonado, another former League One guy. Great to see them succeeding at the next level.
That is our Week 11 Team of the Week in USL Championship. And Player of the Week, of course, it's Cal Jennings. No surprises here, is there?
And he might be up for it again this week. Scored 2 goals earlier today against Detroit City. New place, still the same Cal Jennings banging them in.
And he has been impressive to start this year. Now it's just a question of how he ends this year and how many goals will result in his performances week in and week out. Francisco Bonfilio is trying to make chase, trying to flag down Cal Jennings, but he has a lot of work in front of him. But he's up to the task so far. He has 6. Miami tonight has 1. 1-0 is the score. More to come on the other side.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way.
Focus!
Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power.
Whatever it takes.
Trusted for over 100 years. Tiger Balm's proven herbal blend tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger so that you can rise above pain.
Let's make a Karate Kid.
And get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Stay 3 nights this summer at Best Western and get $50 off a future stay.
How does Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water keep you in the game? We always source our water directly from the natural spring to fuel every body, no matter how you like to move it. So whether you're chasing your goals or just staying active this summer, make sure to stay hydrated with Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Always bottled at the natural spring source.
Who wants that smoke? You want that smoke? Look, I ain't playing, I'm saying this ain't a joke. There ain't no bluffing, I'm calling you out for show. It's either all in or nothing, I go for broke. Who wants that smoke?
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
Macron halftime report as we are back here live at South Dade Kia Field at Pitbull Stadium. Miami FC in control of this thing. 1-0 is the score, and now we have a moment to break. Gonna take a look at the USL Championship news and notes. All kinds of things to chatter about, Ross.
Yeah, Pittsburgh unfortunately exiting the US Open Cup. They're getting a nice little 5-figure chunk of change for being the second highest division side remaining, and some CONCACAF Gold Cup coming up this summer. Only preliminary rosters, but it was exciting to see USL names mentioned there.
Yeah, they'll try at the Coliseum. Mexico going to play Japan at the Oakland Coliseum, following Oakland Roots' historic sellout in their home opener. So a lot of things to chew on around USL Championship. Out-of-town scoreboard reflecting what we mentioned earlier with Cal Jennings doing a lot of the damage this year. 2 goals on the day. His brace, a difference maker against Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit scored in the first 5 minutes in that game. Keyworth was certainly have been rocking, but Charleston with 3 unanswered goals. Pittsburgh with their traditional 1-0 win, and Lexington halfway to 3 points.
Yeah, Lexington SC and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has had a horrendous start to 2025. Now the question is, can they recover in time, or will the season be lost by the time we get to the month of June? So those are the out-of-town scores, but also what is on tap? We have a handful of games tonight. Anything that jumps out to you?
I think Louisville, nice big test at Monterey Bay. Never a fun place to go play. Oakland Roots, New Mexico. New Mexico playing a little better of late. Switchbacks, Orange County, 2 teams with a nice little rivalry. Orange County really struggling to start the season.
Those games available on ESPN Plus at 9, 10 o'clock, and also at 10:30 Eastern. We got some highlights coming up around the corner. The youngsters waiting for the adults to get back on the pitch. They're excited to watch their home team play, and we are too. Miami up by a buck. 1-0 is the tally.
The Magic City, sparked by Julia Tuttle's vision and Henry Flagler's railroad expansion. What was once swampland, transformed into a booming city. This is 1896.
Kia is loaded with over 500 new Kia models in stock now. Test drive a new 25 Kia Sportage today. Doral Kia. Drive for less. Drive Doral.
USL Championship and League One. Diving into all the biggest stories and top headlines. This is USL All Access with Mike Watts and Devin Kerr.
This Miami FC broadcast is brought to you by Macron. Become your own hero. Bon Bon Boom, Suck at Something, Baptist Health, and Doral Kia. Drive for less, drive Doral. It wasn't an enviable start for Miami FC against Birmingham Legion at home, but regardless, they were able to recover in time.
Yeah, first chance here. Ball lofted in and the header just wide. Nice little delivery from Blanco. Ricketts with the header.
Ricketts off one set piece in the 21st minute. More looks. Blanco from just outside.
And this was the best save of the first half from Van Oekel. Partially screened by Fanuel Kavita. But got down there nicely, and here come Miami again. This was a story of this first half. 9 shots to 3 in favor of the home team. Milano this time trying to toe poke it past Van Oekel.
Stranger things have happened in the 39th minute, a set piece.
It was a good delivery defensive questions as Bonfiglio was left with far too much space. Either side having nobody on, and that's too easy for a man with his talent.
Francisco Bonfiglio's team leading 6th goal of the season. Miami with the advantage, 1-0. Shots in their favor, on target as well. Possession close to 50-50, but all in all, this story is pointing towards Miami FC. They've earned the result.
Yeah, everything tilted to the left side of this table, but this is only half a game. Mark Briggs with the halftime chat, I'm sure his players may not have enjoyed.
With the conversation in the locker room, are there any changes to open up this second half if you're Mark Briggs?
Don't think just yet. Especially with the heat, we're going to have to make some changes, I would think, in about 15-20 minutes or so. Especially if the score remains as it is right now.
Teams changing sides, so Miami on the attack, moving from left to right. Birmingham Legion right to left on the defense, though, trying to enter. And Milano, a bit too aggressive, called for that foul, but that was close.
Preston Tabor, Itaka, as well as Sebastian Tregarthen on the bench, both two guys that can provide some instant offense. Tabor Itaka was very impressive in that Detroit game off the bench.
Go and find it inside.
With the way that Miami played in the opening half and your Gaston Madoni, what kind of changes would you make in the second half in terms of personnel?
I wouldn't make any changes yet. I think you continue to play as you have been. As you mentioned, the weather's going to play an impact in the second half. As you can see, both teams coming out here a little sluggishly, a little slow-paced. Gavilanes would certainly provide a spark off the bench later on. Diane Veron as well. I think for the first 10 or 15 minutes of this half, you just try to maintain what you did in that first half. Look for that early goal.
Pushed all the way back to Van Oekel. Van Oekel was busy in that opening half, seeing 9 shots, 3 of them his way, 2 of them he were able to grab. The one, though, from Bonfiglio was a header against the grain, and he couldn't come up with.
Enzo Martinez pushing a little further forward now, trying to get something going. Good bit of possession here. They switch the point of attack.
McCartney, who came in for Moses Mensah in the first half because of an injury, lobbed through, but not over the head of Bolu Akinyoti. Tough task to do with Akinyoti clocking in at 6'2". Lazo floating it around. Trejo. Martinez. Quick touch. Top of the box. Oh, and it gets past Bill Hamid. Tyler Pasher out of nowhere scoring his first goal of the season, and Birmingham is level at 1-1.
Well, that's the quick ball movement Mark Briggs has been looking for. Fine first-time cross and a lovely first-time finish as well. Enzo Martinez just sucking players in. It wasn't an easy cross, and the guy got a slight deflection that perhaps knocked it out of the Bill Hamid's stretched arms. You can see the reaction.
Miami FC still without a clean sheet on the year, and for Pasher's first goal in now 7 games. And Birmingham Legion with an instant spark to open up the second half. So whatever the message was from their head coach and Mark Briggs, message received.
Well, it was just 2 quality passes. I mean, so 1 quality pass and a quality finish. Just don't think about it. Crossed it in with the first time and finished first time. Caught the defense off guard a little bit. Not a bit of a lucky deflection. Well, this man get going.
Damas had his arm up, asking for delivery. Did not receive it. Martinez in the box. Martinez! Great stop by Hamid!
That's a monster stop by Hamid. Came out, made himself big, stuck that big left paw up and denied Enzo Martinez, who must have surely thought he was going to end up on the score sheet there.
Nifty move by Martinez to elude a defender. Birmingham Legion did not have these type of moments in the first half. Not that they were sleepwalking in the first 45, but just a completely different look. Pasher on the board. Martinez nearly found the mark. And for as good as Miami played in the opening half, they have nothing to show for it now. Damas, Martinez. Martinez will crank one up off the woodwork. From about 25 yards out, Enzo Martinez inches away from giving Birmingham the lead.
Enzo Martinez aged backwards 10 years at halftime. Looking like the old Enzo Martinez now. Pushing forward, causing all sorts of trouble.
He scored 11 goals back in 2023 for Birmingham.
There's only one thought in Enzo Martinez's mind. Bill Hamid was beaten at full stretch. Just not quite enough curve on it to perhaps hit the inside of the post and go across the line.
Hamid read that ball much better. Vasquez earning the corner for Miami. Vasquez setting up Bonfilio's goal off of a corner kick. Hoping to duplicate the feat here in the second half. Pasher's goal, his first of the year.
See if they can keep a closer eye on Bonfilio here.
Vasquez, 3 helpers on the year. Short to the top of the box, a dummy. The drive hit a body on the way through. Van Oekel did not see it.
Nice little training ground play. Miami FC. Birmingham's attention elsewhere, perhaps on the header threats. Left player wide open in the edge of the box.
It's the run of play, but Damas's attempt knocked away by Bolo Akinyoti. Miami FC mature on what they have developed this year in their offensive creativity. Blanco keeps it on the deck, but a poor delivery and one going right back from Suarez. That's a bad play by him.
It wasn't his finest moment there. He was just looking to smash it away with his left foot and shanked it out for another corner for Miami.
It's another Miami FC corner kick.
Vasquez.
Their 7th of the night. Birmingham still waiting on their first.
Vasquez towards the 6. Ooh, Jonathan Ricketts ever so close. Who's backpedaling.
Your attention, please. Substitute for your Miami FC. At number 30, Cristian Vasquez. In number 7, Andy Martinez.
With over 500 new Kia models in stock now. Test drive a new 25 Kia Sportage today. Doral Kia. Drive for less. Drive Doral.
Forward Alan Gavilanes making his return. Did not play last week for Miami. He enters the contest, but out wide. Birmingham trying to push Trejo. Trejo could not get around Knutson. Fine play by Dalton Knutson to keep this game level.
Yeah, just stood his ground. Trejo obviously with the pace advantage over Knutson.
Suarez swirling around, embellishing a little, maybe. Bonfilio was having his jersey tied, and Natalie Simon did not make a ruling on it.
Yeah, I think that's what Blanco was saying. Oh, careful. I think that's what Blanco was saying, that perhaps when he released the jersey.
Forward Christian Vasquez's day is over with. Gavilanes coming in for him.
See if we can see what happened here. Well, there wasn't a foul called, I don't think. It was just accidental. The right hand of Bonfilio got up around Suarez's neck, but I don't think there was an actual foul called.
Gavilanes, coming into this contest, has played in 7 matches so far in the year, has failed to record a goal.
Plenty of touches tonight. Vasquez, Miami's leading touch man, before leaving with 44. As well as 11 passes in the final third. Gavilanes is obviously capable of matching those numbers. Loves to be around the ball, taking players on. Play wide, either side or in the middle. There he is now. Former Greenville Triumph man.
His way from USL League One now to USL Championship in his 2nd year with Miami FC. That ball's taken away. No foul against him. And back comes Birmingham Legion. Wow. Lazo got away with one. Romero trying to maneuver around 2 Birmingham Legion players and could not do it there, but now Simon calls a foul.
Yeah, she had a good view of that bit of contact. Sent Gavilanes to the turf. Take another look at it here. No, it's all ball. Gavilanes just got caught in the bit of contact, accidental.
Gavilanes scored 5 goals last year with Miami FC and had a couple of assists in 33 matches. This year, only the 1 helper to show for it. 5 goals he scored last year, the most he's ever scored in USL, whether Championship or League One.
Bonfilio down in a heap in the center circle after that challenge, still on his backside.
Finally to his toes, grabbing his hamstring on the top of his calf. He doesn't look right. Birmingham Legion doesn't care. The touch, Martinez. Good play defending by Miami. Gavilanes with some wheels, but to no avail. Cavita will peel this thing all the way back to his keeper in Van Oekel. Miami FC conceding another goal. 13 now against, after the marker being scored by Tyler Pasher in the 57th minute. Miami FC trying to regain their offensive prowess.
Gaston Matoni, it looks like he doesn't sweat. Wearing a white shirt in a night like this, that's a brave move.
Dangerous. He was all smiles this week. He feels enthusiastic about the club. He's happy with the way that they're performing, ecstatic about the way that they're training. And he feels that they have been humble in their pursuits. Not too high, not too low. And they're working in every match. With the work rate being as high as it is right now, one can only imagine that should translate into more victories, at the very least points. But as we do know in this great game, at times it is rather cruel. Undeserving teams walk away with a point or maybe 3 on fluky nights or just questionable decisions.
For sure. Next for Miami FC at USL Jägermeister Cup game next weekend against FC Naples. We'll see if some of their fans perhaps make the trek across Alligator Alley for that game. And then away matches at Rhode Island, Tampa Bay, and then home against Charleston.
Gavilanes working to the right, ball went the other way. 59th minute. Miami FC had 9 shots in the first half. Damas lets it rip. It hits a leg in front and it goes wide.
First bit of space we've seen in a while inside the box for Ronaldo Damas. First touch let him down a little bit, took him away from goal, but earned the corner. Next for Birmingham, a road trip. Sorry, a home game against Indy 11. 4 of the next 5 at home for Birmingham. Away trip in the middle of that at Lou City. also play Charleston next month. Certainly 3 winnable home games in the 11, Sacramento and Oakland.
Natalie Simon rearranging the furniture in the 6. Knudsen there and Bill Hamid's area. Hernandez Foster towards the back post. A little bit too long for Suarez. Ball goes right back to Miami FC. Fans enter the Prinks Tires Tailgate Sweepstakes for a chance to win a prize pack worth up to $3,000. Scan the QR code on the screen to enter today.
I don't think I'm eligible, Dave. Otherwise, I'd definitely enter.
You are not. Gavilanes. Gavilanes with the sweet left foot. That ball goes slicing wide, up and away.
Plenty of spots to tailgate this summer, even if you're not going to USL games. Club World Cup. Got the Gold Cup coming up. Some Premier League teams coming over for some summer action as well.
Does that mean that you're opening up the Ross Davenport mansion for a tailgate party, a pool party, if you will?
I got too many other things to spend money on. I got to go to Spain. I got to go to Chicago. Listen, kids, man, they love them, but they'll drain your wallet real quick.
It's an investment.
This is true.
61st minute. Tail to tape in the opening half has been flipped now in half number 2. The shots in the first half were 9-3 in favor of Miami FC. They led 1-0. Here in the second half, Birmingham is out shooting Miami 4-3 on the margin, 2 of them on target. 1 of them has found the back of the net. Tyler Pasher, his first goal of the year in the 48th minute.
Apologies for the language there from Mark Briggs, who was not happy with that pass from Edwin Lazo.
The beauty of a hot microphone. All the sounds that come with real-life football on the pitch. It's a pleasant night in South Florida. Happy you can join us here in the 62nd minute with Ross Davenport. I'm David Gascon. Miami comes into this contest with 3 victories on the year, 4 defeats and 1 draw. Birmingham Legion trying to recover. They have 1 win in the year. Milano could not grab it before it crossed the end line. Birmingham Legion started the campaign 0-2-2. They made a coaching change. Tom Zone replaced by Mark Briggs. Changes coming here for Miami FC. Dan Varon and Michael Lawrence both entering this contest. Milano replaced by Lawrence, and Mercado, his day is over with.
Yeah, Milano, a player to watch tonight, didn't quite live up to expectations. Had a few bright moments in the first 20-25 minutes, but faded away. Birmingham, yeah, they had a tough start to the season. Loudoun, Louisville, Detroit City, Pittsburgh to start things off is not a gauntlet anyone would like to see. Took a point against Louisville at home and a point at Detroit City.
They want to grab 3 here tonight. Trejo with a skip. Ball runs to Pasher. Pasher glances back, and Birmingham Legion trying to work this ball around.
Yeah, Mikey Lawrence, a South Florida local. On the pitch now, playing a little deeper than we're used to seeing him play.
Only played in a couple games this year, but he has a heavy presence on the ball. He's 6'1" and a muscular 185 pounds.
He's certainly a direct player, difficult physically to handle anywhere around the box.
Yeah, but who's played well this year for Miami, 8 games so far. 3 of the matches he has started in. Lawrence. A little too far out. Gavilanes at a retreat, spin around like a top. Miami holding possession right now. Gavilanes trying to work around to get free. Bonfiglio lands on his wall, and he got decked.
That was a crunching challenge from Suarez. No nonsense.
Physicality has not been consistent from either side tonight. There have been some moments. Lucas Milano with a yellow card in the opening half. But outside of that, nothing over the top. Match has had stop and go moments. A couple of brilliant instances of creativity from each side. Ricketts out wide, sharp angle to the back post. Nobody in sight for Miami.
It's been a relatively quiet night for Jonathan Ricketts. Those of you that used to watch him in League One, but used to him.
Lawrence tees one up, a one-hopper managed by Van Oekel, and no rebound.
Powering up and down that right wing. He's relatively kept in check tonight as we got a Birmingham player down on the box.
While we have a moment, USL on the CBS Sports Network continues on May 28th with a Western Conference doubleheader. San Antonio FC takes on FC Tulsa at 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by Las Vegas Lights FC and Phoenix Rising FC at 10:30 p.m. Catch all the action on the CBS Sports Network May 28th.
Yeah, Western Conference is a mess at the moment. Only 6 points separating first and 8th. San Antonio back to their usual ways, finding themselves towards the top of the standings after last season's disappointment. Corridor switchbacks, meanwhile, the defending champs below the playoff line in the West for the time being. Seven out of the 12 teams have either 3 or 4 wins. Lexington with just the 1, although they're trying to get a second one tonight. Is 1-1 now, though, in Kentucky, excuse me. Rowdies equalized in the 62nd minute. Mentioned these are the only 2 games going on. We got one more starting at 9 as Jake Roof on.
67th minute with Roof coming into the affair. Jake Roof, the defender. One of the many players at Mark Briggs' disposal off the back line who carries some good size. The 6'2", 165-pounder from Huntsville, Alabama. Another change for Mark Briggs. Sebastian Tregarthen. Another change. Tregarthen into the fold.
See where Jake Roof goes. Eric Centeno, more of a right back. This is Centeno. Obviously McCartney came off the bench, now back out of the game.
Yeah, McCarthy was forced to play left back for Moses Mensah. But with the game being level at 1-1, Mark Briggs going to his bench.
It looks like Centeno will move over to left back, Roof to right back. Him and Stephen Turnbull were in the rotation there at that spot until Centeno showed up. No Turnbull in the 18 tonight.
Keep the lines tight.
Mark Briggs, 79 victories in Sacramento. Began his coaching professional career with Real Monarchs as an assistant back in 2016. Then moved to Sacramento, made a name for himself, and now trying to build on that in Birmingham. Casta Madoni's troops trying to carve out some winning for their head coach. Put on. Ball was behind him. A slow pass from Cardona was intercepted. Thomas and company on the retreat, but they will reignite this offense. Equalizer in the 48th minute. Tyler Pasher is first of the year. Volleyed around. Back comes Miami. Blanco here. Blanco trying to find Gavilanes. No such luck. Suarez with a nice header. Tough to manage for Blanco, but he did a good job of settling it down and he gets it back. Blanco keeps it on the deck looking for Lawrence. Lawrence with good positioning here. Bonfiglio, though, he is tied up and Suarez down in some agony.
Leads all players tonight with 9 clearances. Suarez continuing to impress at center back spot.
Your attention, please. A yellow card has been issued to Miami FC number 9, Francisco Bonfiglio.
He's on loan from New England Revolution in MLS. Mike Briggs familiar with him from his Sacramento Republic days as well.
Bonfiglio with the yellow card in the 70th minute. So he's playing on yellow for the rest of this contest. Milano had the one in the opening half. Bonfiglio needs to be careful, and he picks up a foul there. Completely different teams in the second half. Birmingham Legion settled into this contest after taking some clear shots to the body. Miami failing to deliver a knockout punch. And now they have to recover. Match is only 1-1, but on here, on the build-up, Lawrence. Lawrence did not give it up. Varane was available on the left-hand side.
Birmingham players taking each other out.
Keep it, Danny. Keep the ball, move the ball. Time. Simple, simple. Good, Enzo, good.
72nd minute.
Simple, Jay.
Yeah, you can just sense that the heat has taken, the humidity have taken a bit of the zip out of this game in the second half. Both teams being very careful, picking and choosing when they turn on the jets and push bodies forward. As thus, it's mostly been a half been played in the middle third.
Birmingham trying to be the tougher team to play against with a new head coach in Mark Briggs. And they have answered the message in the second half. Miami FC, for as creative as they were in the opening half, have not had the ability in the second half to duplicate the performance. Shots now are even in the second half, 4 apiece. But the danger factor for their attempts has not been as high. They're trying to limit what Birmingham Legion can do the rest of this contest after they had the 1-0 lead on Francisco Bonfiglio's 6th goal of the season. That was in the first half. Birmingham Legion in the 48th got the equalizer from Tyler Pasher. And now the final 17 minutes and change will be decided by some of the players that are fresh and others that have gone wire to wire in this contest. Into the box, followed around. Good heads-up play, though, by Knutson to stick out the left leg. Lawrence, slight hesitation. Lands back out the drive. Bill Hamid could not handle it, and the rebound knocked in by Damas. Christmas comes early for Ronaldo Damas. His team-leading 5th goal of the season. 2-1 Birmingham.
Well, not one of Bill Hamid's finest moments. I was about to say a comfortable save for the veteran, and just spilled it at the feet of this man, Ronaldo Damas. You see the hands to the head by Hamid. It should have been a comfortable save. Instead, finds the ball in the back of the net behind him, and now Miami with some work to do to try and salvage a point.
Never a bad idea to put a shot on net. And Damas, who is on the doorstep, picks up the loose change, 5 goals now on the year, and that one is huge for Birmingham. A potential 6-point swing based on 2 goals now in the second half. And for Miami, they did everything right in the opening half. Out shooting, out chancing, and outscoring the opponent in Birmingham. Now in the second half, Birmingham has been the better team. The hydration break here in the 75th minute. As we take a look at the goals so far in this affair. 3 were not expected by the odds makers in Vegas. Birmingham with 2 of them, Miami with just the mere 1. First goal opening things up, Francisco Bonfilio. Nice delivery from Christian Vasquez to get the home team on the board, 1-0. But the second half, things changed around for Birmingham, didn't they?
Great pass and a great run by Pasher. Miami defenders just sort of standing around. Nobody getting to that ball quickly enough. Pasher pinching in from that right wing spot. And Pasher again here. I don't think he gets the assist on this play. It was his strike that forced the mistake from Hamid. Damas with the easy finish.
A nasty rebound from Bill Hamid, and Ronaldo Damas capitalizes on the mistake. And now Birmingham feeling their way towards their second victory of the season. And Mark Briggs, when we asked about him to evaluate the club this season, wouldn't get into it. Only discussed in the last 2-3 weeks that he has been with the organization, which is understandable. But he did feel like there was a lot of things that needed to be changed, and one of them was the mental attitude of the team. And tonight, the resolve and the ability to take a couple punches and then hit right back in the second half is part of his messaging and his coaching.
Well, listen, Ronaldo Damas, 15 minutes or so to go. You've been chasing balls all night. Could he have certainly just sat around the penalty spot there on that shot? Yes, but he followed up and found himself on the scoreboard as a result. That's what he's there to do.
Francesco Celeste comes into the affair, the forward. Trying to make a statement here in the second half for Miami. Birmingham had 3 shots in the opening half and not a single one on target. In the second half, they have 6, and 4 of them have been on target. 2 of them have gotten past Bill Hamid. And that ball escapes Celeste. Celeste last week had an opportunity to build on Miami's 2-1 lead against Loudoun United, and he was robbed on a penalty by Hugo Ferrou.
Looks like Miami may go 3 at the back now. The Cardona out and Celeste on. They don't want to come away from this game at home empty-handed. There's no doubt about that. Donny going to throw everything at this last 15 or so minutes.
It's a major reason why you have to play the full 90, and nothing is guaranteed. Miami playing at home this year. They only have a couple of victories in 6 matches. Came into tonight's contest with a 2-4 record at home. They're 1-0-1 on the road. And for Birmingham Legion, their 1-4-4 record, they only have a couple points in the road. 0-2-2. But they're on the verge of capturing their first win of the season. And getting Mark Briggs back into the win column. Varan will take this free kick. Varan, pretty good header, but still working away from net was Ricketts, and Van Oekel a manageable stop, no rebound.
Yeah, nothing Matt Van Oekel could have done about the goal from Miami, but other than that, he's been solid, as you would expect from the veteran.
Lawrence. Romero. 80th minute. We do have a hydration break we'll have to take into account for stoppage time. What does that mean? As Miami FC trying to claw their way back from a losing position. Blanco puts that ball and tries to go over the top, and Lawrence saw it for a moment and goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Miami. Lawrence, high lob in the box. Kavita volleyed around. Kavita again, and this ball's going to go out of bounds, favoring Miami on a corner.
Yeah, good long throw there by Mikey Lawrence. Knocked it back in. Bonfiglio was offside, so he couldn't play it. Themselves a corner. That's certainly one of the better deliverers of these set pieces in the league. Oscar, excuse me. Not taking this one.
This is Varan.
It's the hair.
Varan was 6 inside the 18 for Miami. Whips this ball in. Van Oekel swipes it. And a foul inside the 18 against Miami. The body language says it all right now for Miami. Ronaldo Damas's day is over with. Impressive to say the least. Scoring his 5th goal of the season.
His life as a striker, you can have a relatively quiet night, but when you needed to pop up to pounce just like he did, you gotta be there. On comes Preston Tabor, attack as well as McElhatton. The Aussie. And replace Pasha, provide a little more defensive solidity there at the back of the midfield.
Yeah, so 2 more changes for Mark Briggs. Midfielder and Sam McHill-Houghton. Birmingham Legion, if they pick up this victory, it'd be their 2nd of the year and their 1st on the road. And they'd pull 3 points back from a Miami team who had a 1-0 advantage.
Both be tied with 10 points tonight, but Birmingham will be above the playoff line with one better goal difference.
The other element is Birmingham Legion trying to continue their work against Miami FC with the all-time series in their favor. It includes a season series sweep last year. 2 1-0 outcomes. Most recent was back on September the 22nd. But 9 matches, 5 wins for Birmingham. And this would be 6 out of 10. Both teams with postseason aspirations. In the Eastern Conference, you play each other twice. Should be an easy booking there. Despite a little bit of embellishing from Suarez. Maybe the pop as well. And Natalie Simon going to show him yellow. It was a blatant yellow card.
The old hug from behind, a hug and toss, hip toss. Wait till he gets back to his feet before giving him the yellow.
I'm not sure what kind of argument Thiago Suarez is delivering to Natalie Simon, but blatantly obvious.
He's perhaps saying it was a bit of a lash out afterwards by Blanco.
But on the free kick, volleyed around. Miami FC cannot settle it. Natalie Simon hits her in the backside. It's a dead ball. Yeah, Knutson on the opposite end of the pitch. There's some pretty decent contact there with Knutson inside the 18.
Come on, Santano, come on, Danny.
Lead pass. Birmingham Legion trying to force things forward. Getting bodied off there. Toward Takada. 86th minute. Well, our cricket wireless man of the match at the conclusion of this contest. Blanco towards the back post. Lawrence hustling, running out of real estate.
He earned himself a corner though with the hustle.
It's another Miami FC corner kick.
Van Oekel not tested as much in the second half as he was in the first. But on. Short whip, top of the box. Blanco's shot. That ball was blocked on the way through. Akinyoti taken down inside the 18. No ruling. Knutson. Blowing a tire was Ricketts. Miami dialing up the pressure. And this goes back to how Miami played at the end of the first half, where they clearly had the advantage in Birmingham on the ropes. They laid off the gas to close out the opening half. And right now they're trying to dial it back up.
Well, a clumsy challenge from Tergatha. Not the place to be attempting such a challenge. Perhaps not quite enough there for the penalty. Natalie Simon's mind anyway, that's the only one that matters. Certainly some half-hearted appeals.
There is no VAR. So as she sees it, we go. 88th minute. Shots now in this contest, 15-9 in favor of Miami. Miami with 5 shots on goal to the 4 for Birmingham Legion. Blanco maneuvering. Blanco with a quick drive. Ricocheting around, Bonfiglio. Fine positioning and a quick corner here for Miami. Miami bringing their defenders up. Knutson, Ricketts, Cardona. Put on. Back post. Oh, ever so close. Miami threatening in a couple of these moments.
Yeah, Ron's done a good job of whipping those balls in with pace. It's caused a bit of confusion at the back.
Romero there on that attempt, but again, a chance that goes by the wayside for Miami. Clock continues to churn, 89th minute. We'll keep an eye on our fourth official, Russell Miller. We'll indicate to the audience how much stoppage time these two teams will be playing with. Birmingham Legion came into this affair as a small favorite by the odds makers in Vegas. At plus 130, Miami FC was plus 170. Blanco has Lawrence. Volleyed around, Van Oekel will climb the ladder, but it goes over the crossbar. Catches the webbing of the net.
Mikey Lawrence was claiming there was a deflection. Certainly looked at first glance that there was. Perhaps earned himself a corner, but instead, Van Oekel will take his time here and burn a good chunk of time off the clock.
El Paso, Las Vegas play tonight. Tons of games that have been played so far. Lexington and Tampa Bay 1-1 in the 77th minute. But on. Came in and had some immediate touches, but Alan Gavilanes, who I've not heard of for a while. Tabora Dictata gets taken down inside the 18. They play on. No whistle, no call. Back on the sprint, Gavilanes. Gavilanes gets dragged down, and our lead official will call that as a foul.
It was an interesting one because the assistant referee was right in front of it and didn't call it. He called the throw. Emily Simon was a good distance away. She decided it was a foul.
6 minutes of stoppage time. Birmingham Legion trying to upset Miami on the road, at least based on records. Gavilanes looking around. There's 7 right now. Make it 8 inside the 18 for Miami FC. And now we're going to have a yellow card. We are.
It didn't look like it was to Mark Briggs. It should be the one complaining about that decision. Like it was to Gaston Madoni or an assistant.
She ran a long way over to deliver that yellow. Burning clock. Gavilanes. Pretty decent ball, the header! Just misses again. Miami flirting with an equalizer to no avail there.
Ricketts again near post. Not sure who that came off. Might have come off Suarez. Oh, no, it didn't. Definitely Bonfiglio, is that? Yeah. With a golden chance to double his tally and tie this thing up. Just couldn't direct it inside the near post of Matt Van Oekel.
Miami FC was lurking on 3 different occasions here in the second half for an equalizer. They failed to convert. They had chances in the opening half to knock out Birmingham Legion and could not. They led after 45 minutes 1-0, outshooting the opposition 9-3 in the first half. Birmingham Legion did not have a shot on goal until the second half, and Tyler Pasher's first goal of the season was in the 48th minute. That ignited the offense. And then a misreading of the ball from Bill Hamid. Ronaldo Damas scoring the go-ahead goal for Birmingham Legion. That goal was in the 74th minute. His 5th of the year. Birmingham 2, Miami 1. But on here in the corner. But on, line drive delivery, vacant net by Van Oekel. Birmingham Legion escapes. Wide open territory. Bill Hamid comes all the way out. Some nifty passing by Bill. Cheating up. Birmingham Legion looking for a shot towards target. Hamid scrambles back. At this point, Birmingham Legion trying to err on the side of caution, but at least burn some clock in the process. Gavilanes. Celeste. Blanco, who's fared well in this contest. No positive result for him yet. Romero whips this ball in. It found a crease, contact inside the 18. But a whistle and a call going against Miami. Varan is down and quickly back to his toes.
Yeah, just caught Enzo Martinez with the high boot there, trying to keep it in the danger area. Eric Centeno down.
Gamesmanship from Centennial.
Not sure the last time he went 90+ minutes in a game.
It's one way to get yourself into game shape. The new acquisition for Birmingham Legion, quickly stretching his hamstrings, and now back to the bench goes Natalie Simon, and she delivers one message to the bench of Miami, comes right back with a yellow card to the bench of Birmingham Legion. So We're all even there with a yellow card apiece.
Yeah, Mark Briggs just couldn't help himself. He won't care as long as this result holds.
Birmingham more clinical in the second half. They have capitalized on their chances. And they've taken advantage of a mistake from veteran goalkeeper Bill Hamid. Trejo. Miami desperate to flip the script, but they'll have to work their way up into the attacking third. They've outshot Birmingham 18-9, but the quality of the shots has not been equal in half number 2 compared to the opening half. They've had some dangerous moments, but they haven't been on target yet. Akinyoti tried rising up. Enzo Martinez. And that'll be a foul against Knudsen.
Yeah, this game's sort of limping to a finish. I think 1-1 would have been a fair result, all things considered. Unfortunately for Bill Hamid, his one crucial error is going to be the difference between 1 point and 3 points in this one.
Tavoria Taka slowly getting up. More gamesmanship by Birmingham. The veterans know the score. They know what's going on. Conclusion of this contest, we'll have our Cricket Wireless Man of the Match. Full-time stats and highlights, and they will say goodbye.
You got a second game tonight, David.
Imagine there's another yellow card delivered. That's exactly the case for delay.
Celeste telling our referee Nelly Simon he's going to add the time as well. Only 30 seconds past the 6.
Van Oekel with the yellow. Vadon. Left-footed chip. Enzo Martinez. And we'll just kick this thing all the way down as it crosses the end line. Bill Hamid and company will have to hurry. And that will do it. No time is left. We have reached full time here in Miami. And Birmingham, a strong performance in the half that counts the most. The second half, they pull away and win it 2-1.
Yeah, Birmingham came right back into it after the break. We'll come away with 3 points. Mike Briggs' first 3 points as the coach of Birmingham Legion. Certainly good things to build on for the visitors. Miami unlucky in the end. I think a draw would have been a fair result, but just didn't do enough in that second half to deserve the 3.
And Gaston Madoni and company will have to go back to the drawing board. Francisco Bonfilio, our Cricket Wireless Man of the Match. Scored the only goal for Miami, his team leading 6th goal of the season, but it was not enough. Miami FC falters in the second half, and they get beat by Birmingham. 2-1 is the outcome.
Kia is loaded with over 500 new Kia models in stock now. Test drive a new 25 Kia Sportage today. Doral Kia. Drive for less. Drive Doral.
Second half to break. Miami FC 2-1 is the final score. With Ross Davenport, I'm David Gascon. Full-time highlights in this thing.
Yeah, 39th minute. That would be Miami take the lead. Bonfilio finding himself at the end of this corner. Defensive questions from Birmingham was why that man had that much space and probably headed down into the ground by Oekel. No chance.
And Bonfilio continues to be the trendsetter for Miami's offensive attack. But in the second half, this is a different Birmingham team.
That was a fine finish by Pasher. Cross coming in from the sub, McCartney, and first time finish underneath Bill Hamid, who I probably didn't expect that shot.
52nd minute, more trouble for Miami.
Yeah, Bill Hamid with what should have been a simple claim. Makes a complete mess of it on the way down to the ground. And Damas, a benefactor of that mistake, and there your final shots. Miami racking up the shots, but as you mentioned, David, not a ton of quality chances.
Yeah, they scored 2 goals in the matter of 4 minutes to prevail. Shots 18-9, but Birmingham just a different look in the second half, and whatever message Mark Briggs delivered to his club, they heard it loud and clear. So they capture this one. They get 3 points in the outcome. They go to 2-4-4 on the season. The next contest is on May 31st, the Jägermeister Cup against FC Tulsa. And Miami FC will take on FC Naples in the Jägermeister Cup. That'll be from a week from now as well. Hope you enjoyed this one. Miami FC falls to 3-5-1 this season, still 10 points. Birmingham captures 3 more. They have 10 now in the year as well. 2-4-4 record. For Ross Davenport, I'm David Gascon. Hope you enjoyed this one. Birmingham wins it. 2-1 is the final.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.